great piece of driving. Mario puts on his diplomat's hat to explain what happened. Let's get back to the action.
Leroy Yarborough and Richard Petty lock horns as the laps were away. And no decisive advantage belongs to anyone. Likeable Cale Yarborough calls on the Wood brothers again. This time with overheating, the wind-blown debris collected on his grill is removed and a hole cut to guarantee free airflow. Cale keeps his cool. And the Wood brothers do their part. Cale's back to the topsy-turvy contest in search of the leader. By the 82nd lap, Mario Andretti's on top, and as Ralph Moody entered Mercury Cyclone. The last year's winner is getting no quarter from hustling Leroy Yarborough. Cale Yarborough has the bit in his teeth, it appears. He qualified at a fraction under 190 miles an hour and seems bent on equaling that time. The 6 caution flags so far have slowed the race average to 140 miles an hour, way below the record. Leroy has dropped off the pace. Bobby Allison moves into challenge in his 29 Ford. But number 21, Cale Yarborough, has done an amazing job of coming through the pack as the laps pick off. And at almost 90 laps, Yarborough brings Andretti into his sight. Last year's winner and a Charger on the way up have at it. And Cale prevails, picking off Andretti on the back chute just before turn 3. Yarborough's back in command. Meantime, Leroy is involved with David Pearson, who's now 2 laps in arrears and charging for all he's worth. Goes Buddy Baker in the number 3 Charger. Young Buddy, whose dad was a front-rank driver himself, draws up on Andretti as they work through turn 4 and head for the pit straight. But they tangle, and here it is in slow motion. Baker slides right for the retaining wall, fighting the wheel for all he's worth. Mario has swapped ends, and tail first fights for control. Andretti finally pulls out of it and seems okay. He's going to drive into the pit. Baker's not so lucky, nor is John Sears in the number 4 Ford, who became entangled in the crash. It looks now as if everyone is all right except Sears, who sustained an arm injury. Andretti struggles to the pit where the Holman Moody crew can at least be happy their driver is okay. It's the 8th caution flag of the race. But for Mario, Buddy, and Sears, it might as well be the only one. Christy Konamaki talks with Andretti.
Mario, from the looks of the car, it looked like you had quite a ride. What happened out there?
Well, coming off the number 4, Buddy Baker and I got a little close, and I guess it took me right around.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Baker's battered Dodge is towed behind the pit. Sears' car, likewise, removed from the active area. Meantime, Paul Goldsmith, here finishing a pit stop, has moved his Plymouth into contention. And Bobby Allison is sticking in there, too, now running 4th behind Goldsmith. Still making it a Mercury fest up front with number 21 on top. Pearson in 17 is still 2 laps down and struggling to get unlapped. But Leroy has other ideas, and with Cale his target, he further buries Pearson as they circle the 2.5-mile Daytona Tri-Oval at just under 184 miles per hour. Yarborough, and Pearson. Mercury Ford just past the halfway mark of the 200-lap classic, and at this point, Cale's had the lead twice for a total of 38 laps. Leroy 4 times for 20 laps. portion, it's Jim Hurtubise, the number 56, and Earl Brooks, the number 75. Hurtubise is okay. His car not so okay. Brooks likewise, and he takes to the wall to avoid further trouble. The mess is cleared up in 7 laps, and the action continues. In the waning lap now at Yarborough Pit. Wood brothers are fast as ever. But Leroy Yarborough is the pace setter now and averaging close to 183 miles per hour. Cale rejoins the battle, but he's down 3 places and will have to move. Darrell Derringer has his patience rewarded and has worked into third. Leader Yarborough knows he's being pressed. Looks by Goldsmith trying to open his margin on the fast approaching Cale Yarborough. Cale picked up Goldsmith too and methodically works on getting by the veteran Plymouth pilot. Goldsmith at 41 has successfully driven just about everything on wheels, with the motorcycle champ 3 years running. Cale Yarborough's life has been the Grand National Circuit, and as Yarborough has the steam. He catches Goldsmith on the back straight and full steam ahead off for Leroy. Leroy pits late in the race and leading. Cale's bearing down. He's passed Bobby Allison and has only Leroy to catch to put him back in the lead. It's his if he comes by before Leroy gets out again. But Yarborough's on his way as Cale's crew prepares to show his deficit. Cale puts in behind Leroy and the race is on. To go before the 500 is checkered to a finale. The question is, can Cale's Wood Brothers prepared Mercury number 21 catch Leroy's Junior Johnson entered Mercury number 26? Cale qualified just 1 mile an hour faster than Leroy. Probably not enough, but Leroy has made 2 pit stops late in the event and may be having trouble. Cale's had trouble too. 10 pit stops for the event. Only the Wood Brothers have kept him competitive. Cale's narrowed the margin. He's used the back straight several times today to improve his lie, and it might be his choice again. Yarborough gives way. Cale has grabbed the lead with just 3 laps remaining. This could be one of the closest finishes in any of the 9 previous Daytona 500s. The question is, which Mercury's got it? Two of the finest drivers on the Grand National Circuit, and the young blood necessary to keep it going, thrilling 94,000 fans. One lap to go and restrained joy in the Wood Brothers pit. White flag tells Leroy it'll have to be this lap. Cale has the steam, though. The margin's 1 second. Cale averaging just under 184 for the last lap in a fantastic display of determined driving. Bobby Allison was third. David Pearson fourth. Al Unser fifth. The 11 caution flags kept Cale's race-winning average to a slow 143 miles an hour, but the $47,500 victor's purse was some compensation.
And here's the winner, Cale Yarborough, a happy man. Was it a tough one, Cale?
About as tough as I've ever seen, Chris. Everything in the world went wrong, but these Wood Brothers and everything just held together, and I thank everybody for it.
Did you have any close calls during the race?
Not really any close calls on the racetrack, but We had a lot of little things that went wrong, and but everything came out just right. So
Before the race, everybody said 189 miles an hour was going to be a mental strain and a physical strain on the driver. Was it?
you better believe it. My arms feel like they're just hanging on.
Continued good luck to you, Cale Yarborough.
Thank you, Chris.
The 1-2 Mercury sweep was worth a smile for plucky Leroy Yarborough, who, despite his narrow loss, drove one of the best races of his career in what easily was a classic Daytona 500.
Well, that was the first of Cale's 4 Daytona 500 wins. Leroy Yarborough came back and won the next year, 1969. Now, in 1970, the speeds took another big jump, went to 195 miles an hour. NASCAR restricted the engines for the first time, a move they would repeat nearly 20 years later when Bill Elliott qualified at over 210. I'm Dave Despain. We'll see you again next time on the Glory Days.